Part 1. The mystery begins. Lisa had always been the type of person who slept like a rock. Once her head hit the pillow, nothing could wake her up until morning. It's not thunderstorms, not car alarms, not even her neighbor's dog barking at 3 in the morning. Her friends used to joke that she could sleep through an earthquake, and honestly, she probably could. But something strange had been happening lately. For the past few weeks, Lisa kept waking up with this weird feeling that something had happened while she was sleeping. It wasn't a bad feeling, just ... different. Like when you walk into a room and know someone was just there, even though you can't see them at first. She thought she was just being paranoid. Maybe it was stress from work, or maybe she was watching too many mystery shows before bed. But the feeling kept getting stronger every morning. She would wake up and look around her bedroom, trying to figure out what felt off. Then she started noticing little things, tiny details that didn't make sense. Her reading glasses, which she always left on the nightstand before going to sleep, would somehow end up perfectly placed on top of her book, not scattered or knocked over like they usually were when she fumbled around in the dark. They were positioned so carefully, like someone had taken time to place them just right. Her phone charger, which she often left tangled on the floor, would be neatly coiled beside her bed. Her slippers, which she usually kicked off randomly, would be lined up perfectly next to each other. Even her jewelry, which she had a habit of dropping on the dresser, would be arranged in a neat little row. Lisa lived alone in her small apartment. She had moved there 15 years ago when she first adopted Tiger, her orange tabby cat. Tiger was just a tiny kitten back then, no bigger than her hand. Now he was a full-grown, slightly chubby 15-year-old cat who spent most of his days lounging in sunny spots around the apartment. Could Tiger be moving these things? The idea seemed ridiculous. He was just a cat. Sure, he was smart, but cats don't organize jewelry or arrange reading glasses on books. That's crazy talk. But the more Lisa thought about it, the more curious she became. Every morning, Tiger would be sitting at the foot of her bed, looking perfectly content. Not sleepy like a cat who had just woken up, but alert and satisfied. Like he had just finished completing an important task. His green eyes would watch her as she got ready for work. And sometimes, Lisa swore she could see a hint of pride in his expression. Like he knew something she didn't single quotes. Did one particular Tuesday morning, Lisa woke up to find something that really made her pause. Her favorite coffee mug, which she had left dirty in the sink the night before, was sitting clean and dry on the kitchen counter. Right next to it was a fresh tea bag, still in its wrapper, placed precisely where she usually prepared her morning tea. Lisa stared at the mug for a full minute. She definitely remembered leaving it dirty. She had been too tired to wash dishes after dinner and had promised herself she'd deal with it in the morning. But here it was, clean as new. She looked around the apartment. Tiger was sitting in his usual morning spot by the window, calmly grooming his paw. He glanced up at her briefly, then went back to his cleaning routine like nothing unusual had happened. "Tiger," Lisa said out loud, feeling a bit silly for talking to her cat like he could answer back. "Did you clean my mug?" Tiger just blinked slowly at her, which cat owners know is basically a cat's way of saying, "I love you." But this time, it felt more like he was saying, finally, "You're starting to notice." That evening, Lisa decided to pay closer attention to her furry roommate. She had always assumed Tiger was just like any other cat. He ate his food, used his litter box, played with his toys, and slept for most of the day. Basic cat stuff. But now she was wondering if there was more to Tiger than she had realized. As bedtime approached, she watched him more carefully than usual. He seemed to be watching her too, like he was waiting for something. Lisa went through her normal nighttime routine. She brushed her teeth, changed into her pajamas, and got into bed with her book. Tiger hopped onto the bed and settled down near her feet, just like he did every night. Everything seemed completely normal, she read, for about an hour, then turned off the light and placed her glasses on the nightstand. Within minutes, she was fast asleep. But that night, something woke her up around midnight. Not a loud noise or a bad dream, just a gentle sensation that made her eyes flutter open. The room was dark, but there was enough moonlight coming through the window for her to see shapes, and what she saw made her heart skip a beat. Tiger was not asleep at the foot of the bed like she expected. Instead, he was standing on the nightstand, carefully moving something with his paw. Lisa held her breath and stayed perfectly still. Pretending to be asleep, she watched as Tiger gently pushed her reading glasses with his nose. Positioning them on top of her book, he moved slowly and deliberately, like he was being very careful not to make any noise or wake her up. Then he hopped down from the nightstand and padded quietly around the room. Lisa could hear soft sounds, like fabric being moved or small objects being shifted. After a few minutes, Tiger returned to the bed and settled back into his spot near her feet. Lisa's mind was racing. Had her cat really just organized her nightstand? Was Tiger the one who had been tidying up her things every night? It seemed impossible, but she had seen it with her own eyes. She lay there in the dark for another hour, too amazed to fall back. Asleep, questions kept swirling through her head. How long had Tiger been doing this? What else was he doing while she slept? And most importantly, why was he taking care of her like this? As the sun started to rise, Lisa pretended to wake up, naturally. She stretched and yawned, then looked around the room. Sure enough, everything was perfectly organized. Her glasses were on her book, her slippers were lined up neatly, and even her phone charger was coiled properly. Tiger was sitting at the foot of the bed, watching her with those knowing green eyes. This time Lisa was sure she could see something special in his expression. It wasn't just cat contentment. It was the look of someone who had been keeping a secret for a very long time. "Good morning, Tiger," Lisa whispered, reaching out to scratch behind his ears. "We need to have a serious conversation tonight." Part 2. Setting the trap. Lisa spent the entire day at work thinking about what she had witnessed the night before. Every time she tried to focus on her computer screen, her mind would drift back to the image of Tiger carefully moving her reading glasses with his paw. Her coworkers probably thought she was losing it, considering how many times she zoned out during meetings. "Are you feeling okay?" Her friend Jenny asked during lunch break. "You seem really distracted today." Lisa almost told her about Tiger, but then realized how crazy it would sound. "My cat has been secretly organizing my bedroom every night for who knows how long" wasn't exactly normal conversation material. Instead, she just smiled and said she hadn't slept well. But the truth was, Lisa was more awake and alert than she had been in months. She felt like a detective who had just discovered the first clue to a big mystery. Tonight, she was going to get to the bottom of this. On her way home from work, Lisa stopped at the pet store. She wasn't sure why, but she felt like she owed Tiger something. Maybe a special treat or a new toy. As she wandered through the aisles, she found herself looking at everything differently. Were cats really as simple as everyone thought? Or had people just not been paying close enough attention? The store clerk, an elderly man with kind eyes, noticed her browsing. "Looking for anything special for your cat?" he asked. "Actually," Lisa said, "do you think cats are smarter than most people realize?" The man chuckled. "Oh, absolutely. I've been working with animals for 40 years, and cats are some of the most intelligent creatures I've ever met. They just don't show off like dogs do. Cats are more subtle about their intelligence. Subtle how? Well, they observe everything. They learn routines, they understand emotions, and they can solve problems in ways that would surprise you. I once had a customer whose cat learned to turn on the faucet when the water bowl was empty. Another cat figured out how to open doors by watching humans do it." Lisa felt a shiver of excitement. Maybe what she saw wasn't so impossible after all. Bought Tiger his favorite salmon treats and headed home. When she walked through the door, Tiger was waiting for her in the hallway, just like always. But this time, Lisa looked at him differently. Instead of seeing a regular house cat, she saw a mystery waiting to be solved. "Hello, you sneaky little guy," she said, kneeling down to pet him. "Da-da." Tiger purred and rubbed against her hand, but Lisa could swear his eyes looked more alert than usual, like he knew something was up. The evening felt different. Lisa tried to act normal, but she was buzzing with anticipation. She made dinner, watched some TV, and did her usual nighttime routine. But every few minutes, she would glance over at Tiger, who seemed to be watching her just as carefully. Around 10 o'clock, Lisa announced loudly, "Well, Tiger, I'm getting pretty sleepy. I think I'll head to bed early tonight." She wanted to make sure Tiger heard her and thought everything was normal. She went through her bedtime routine exactly like the night before. She brushed her teeth, put on her pajamas, and got into bed with her book. She even made sure to leave her reading glasses on the nightstand in the exact same spot, along with a few other items scattered around randomly. Tiger jumped onto the bed and settled near her feet, just like always. Lisa read for about 30 minutes, then made a big show of yawning and stretching. "Good night, Tiger," she said, turning off the light and placing her glasses on the nightstand. "Sleep well." But instead of actually going to sleep, Lisa lay perfectly, still with her eyes closed, trying to control her breathing so it would sound like she was sleeping. Her heart was beating so fast, she was worried Tiger might hear it. For what felt like hours, nothing happened. Lisa started to wonder if she had imagined the whole thing. Maybe Tiger only did his organizing routine some nights, not every night. Maybe she had just caught him on a weird day. Then, around midnight, she heard it. It's a soft sound of paws padding. Across the wooden floor, Lisa kept her breathing steady and her eyes mostly closed, but she could see through her eyelashes. Tiger had gotten up and was moving around the room with purpose. This wasn't the lazy, sleepy movement of a cat looking for a more comfortable spot. This was focused, deliberate movement. First, Tiger hopped onto the nightstand. Lisa could feel the bed shake slightly as he landed. She heard the gentle scraping sound of her reading glasses being moved across the wooden surface. Tiger was being incredibly careful, moving slowly so he wouldn't make noise. Next, she heard him jump down and walk across the room. There were soft sounds of fabric being moved, and Lisa realized he was organizing her clothes that she had dropped on the chair. She could hear hangers being adjusted and fabric being smoothed. But Tiger wasn't done. Lisa listened as he moved around the entire room, and she could hear him doing things she never would have expected from a cat. There was the sound of papers being straightened, small objects being moved, and even what sounded like him pushing her slippers into a neat row. The most amazing part was how quiet he was being. Tiger was clearly trying very hard not to wake her up. Every movement was careful and controlled. This wasn't random cat behavior. This was intentional, thoughtful action. After about 20 minutes, Lisa heard Tiger jump back onto the bed. She felt him settle into his usual spot near her feet, and within a few minutes, she could hear his soft purring, which meant he was content and ready to sleep. Lisa lay there in amazement, her mind racing with questions. How long had Tiger been doing this? Every single night? Had he been taking care of her for weeks, months, or even years without her knowing? And why? What made a cat want to organize and clean up after their human? This went way beyond normal pet behavior. This was something special, something that showed a level of care and intelligence that Lisa had never imagined possible. She thought about all those mornings when she had woken up feeling refreshed and happy, never realizing that Tiger had spent part of his night making sure her space was comfortable and organized. All those times she had felt lucky to have such a clean, peaceful bedroom to wake up in. Tiger had been taking care of her. She never even knew it. As Lisa finally drifted off to sleep, she made a decision. Tomorrow night she was going to stay awake even longer. She needed to see exactly what Tiger was doing and understand the full extent of his nightly routine. Because if her cat was really doing what she thought he was doing, it was the most incredible thing she had ever witnessed. Part 3. The 15-year secret revealed. The next day, Lisa could barely concentrate on anything. She kept replaying what she had witnessed in her mind, trying to make sense of it all. During her lunch break, she found herself Googling things like smart cat behavior and can cats really take care of humans? The internet was full of amazing cat stories. Nothing quite like what she was experiencing with Tiger. That evening, Lisa decided to take her investigation to the next level. She was going to stay awake for as long as possible to see everything Tiger did during the night. She prepared by taking a short nap after work and drinking an extra cup of coffee with dinner. When bedtime came, Lisa went through her routine but made sure to create more of a mess than usual. She left her jewelry scattered on the dresser, dropped her socks in random places, and even left a magazine open on the floor. If Tiger really was cleaning up after her, tonight she would see the full extent of his work. She got into bed and waited. Tiger settled into his usual spot, and Lisa began her pretend sleep routine. But this time, she was determined to stay awake. No matter how long it took, around 11:30, she heard Tiger get up and start moving around. Lisa kept her eyes barely open, watching as Tiger began what she now realized was a highly organized routine. First, Tiger jumped onto the dresser. Lisa watched in amazement as he used his paws to carefully push her scattered jewelry into neat little groups. He separated her rings from her earrings, and somehow managed to untangle a necklace that had gotten twisted. The precision was incredible. His paws moved with the delicacy of a jeweler organizing precious stones. Next, Tiger hopped down and walked over to where Lisa had dropped her socks. Using his mouth, he carefully picked up each sock and carried it to the laundry basket in the corner of the room. He didn't just drop them in randomly. Tiger actually positioned each sock neatly inside the basket. But what happened next made Lisa's heart skip a beat. Tiger walked over to the magazine she had left open on the floor. Instead of just moving it, he actually started pushing it closed with his nose. Page by page, Tiger carefully closed the magazine, then used his paws to straighten it and push it under the nightstand, where Lisa usually kept her reading materials. Lisa was witnessing something that seemed impossible. Lisa wasn't basic cat behavior. This was complex problem-solving and organization skills that she never knew cats possessed. Tiger continued his rounds through the room. He straightened the curtains, making sure they hung evenly. He pushed Lisa's slippers into a perfect pair next to the bed. He even managed to smooth out the wrinkles in the throw blanket that was draped over the reading chair. Then Tiger did something that brought tears to Lisa's eyes. He walked over to her purse, which she had left open on the floor with some papers sticking out. Using his teeth, Tiger carefully pushed the papers back into the purse, then used his nose to close the zipper partway. He was being so gentle, so careful not to damage anything. After that, Tiger moved to the nightstand where Lisa's phone was charging. The cord was tangled and hanging down to the floor. Tiger grabbed the cord in his mouth and began winding it into a neat coil. It took him several minutes, but he managed to arrange the charging cable so it wasn't hanging loose or creating a mess. Lisa realized that Tiger wasn't just cleaning up randomly. He was following a system, a routine that he had clearly perfected over time. Every movement had purpose. Every action was designed to make her space more comfortable and organized. But Tiger wasn't finished yet. He walked over to the window and used his paws to adjust the blinds, making sure no bright streetlight was shining directly onto the bed. Then he checked the bedroom door, making sure it was positioned just right, not completely closed. But not wide open either, as Lisa continued. Watching, she began to understand that this wasn't something Tiger had just started doing recently. The way he moved around the room, the efficiency of his routine, the fact that he knew exactly where everything belonged. This was the behavior of someone who had been doing this job for a very long time, 15 years. The number hit Lisa like a lightning bolt. Tiger was 15 years old. She had adopted him as a tiny kitten when she first moved into this apartment. Had he been taking care of her every single night for 15 years? Lisa thought back to all those mornings when she had woken up feeling happy and refreshed. All those times she had been grateful for her peaceful, organized bedroom. All those years when she had felt like she was living in perfect harmony with her space. Tiger had been the reason for all of it. She remembered the early days when Tiger was just a kitten. Back then, she used to wake up sometimes and find her things moved around, but she had always assumed it was just typical kitten playfulness. Now she realized that even as a baby cat, Tiger had been trying to take care of her. As Tiger continued his work, Lisa noticed something else amazing. He seemed to understand her preferences. He arranged her jewelry the same way she'd like to arrange it. He positioned her slippers exactly where she found them most convenient. He even adjusted the temperature in the room by opening the window, just a crack, when it felt too warm. Tiger knew her habits, her routines, and her preferences better than she knew them herself. He had been studying her for 15 years, learning what made her comfortable and happy, and working every night to create that perfect environment for her. The most incredible part was that Tiger had never asked for recognition or rewards. He had been performing this nightly service purely out of love and care. Every morning he would sit at the foot of the bed and watch her wake up in the organized, peaceful space he had created, and that seemed to be reward enough for him. As Tiger finished his routine and settled back onto the bed, Lisa felt overwhelmed with emotion. She had spent 15 years thinking she was taking care of a pet, but the truth was that Tiger had been taking care of her. All those nights when she had fallen asleep, stressed or worried, Tiger had quietly worked to create a calm, organized environment for her to wake up in. All those mornings when she had felt inexplicably happy and peaceful, it was because Tiger had spent his night making sure everything was perfect for her. Lisa lay there in the dark, finally understanding the incredible gift she had been receiving every single day for 15 years without even knowing it. Tomorrow night, she decided, things were going to be different. It was time for Tiger to know that his secret was out and that she was more grateful than he could ever imagine. Part 4. The confrontation. Lisa barely slept the rest of that night. Her mind was spinning with everything she had discovered about Tiger. Every few minutes, she would glance over at him sleeping peacefully at the foot of her bed, and she couldn't believe that this ordinary-looking orange cat had been secretly taking care of her for 15 whole years. When morning came, Lisa felt like she was seeing her apartment through completely new eyes. Every perfectly arranged item, every neat corner, every comfortable detail that she had always taken for granted, it was all Tiger's work. She walked around the bedroom, touching the things he had organized during the night, feeling a mixture of amazement and overwhelming gratitude. Tiger followed her around as she got ready for work, just like he did every morning. But now Lisa noticed things she had never seen before. The way he watched her movements, like he was studying her routine. The way he seemed to check that everything was in its proper place. The way his green eyes followed her with such intelligence and care. She said softly as she was putting on her shoes, "I can't believe you've been doing this all along." Tiger just looked at her with those knowing eyes and purred softly, as if to say, "What took you so long to figure it out?" All day at work, Lisa couldn't stop thinking about what she should do next. Part of her wanted to just pretend she had never discovered Tiger's secret and let him continue his nightly routine in peace. But a bigger part of her felt like she needed to acknowledge what he had been doing. After 15 years of Secret Service, Tiger deserved to know that his efforts were finally being recognized. Lisa decided that tonight, she was going to let Tiger know that she knew. She wasn't sure how exactly you communicate with a cat about something like this, but she had to try. On her way home, she stopped at the pet store again. The same elderly clerk was there, and he smiled when he saw her. "Back again so soon?" he asked. "How's your intelligent cat doing?" "You have no idea," Lisa said, shaking her head with a smile. "He's even smarter than I thought possible. What's the best way to show a cat that you appreciate something they've been doing?" The man thought for a moment. "Well, cats understand routine and consistency. If you want to acknowledge your behavior, the best thing is to be present when they do it and respond positively. Cats are very good at reading human emotions." Lisa bought Tiger's favorite treats and a new soft blanket. If he was going to continue taking care of her, she wanted to give him something special in return. That evening, Lisa felt nervous in a way she had never felt around Tiger before. She went through her usual routine, but this time she was planning to stay awake and interact with Tiger during his nightly work. She made sure to create a reasonable mess for him to clean up. Nothing too crazy. It's just her normal scattered items. She wanted this to feel like any other night, at least at first. When bedtime came, Lisa got into bed and waited. Tiger settled into his usual spot, and they both lay there quietly for about an hour. Lisa was pretending to sleep, but her heart was beating fast with anticipation. Right on schedule. Around midnight, Tiger got up and began his routine. Lisa watched as he started with the nightstand, carefully moving her reading glasses and organizing her things. This was the moment she had been waiting for. Very slowly, Lisa opened her eyes and lifted her head slightly. "Tiger," she whispered. Softly, Tiger froze immediately. He was in the middle of straightening her bookmark, and he stopped completely when he heard her voice. For a long moment, they just stared at each other in the dim moonlight coming through the window. Tiger's expression was incredible. Lisa could see surprise in his eyes, but also something that looked like embarrassment, as if he had been caught doing something he wasn't supposed to do. "It's okay," Lisa whispered, reaching out her hand toward him. "I'm not upset. I'm amazed." Tiger remained perfectly still, watching her carefully. Lisa could see him trying to decide what to do. Should he stop his routine? Should he pretend it wasn't happening? Should he run away? "I know what you've been doing," Lisa continued in a gentle voice. "I've been watching you for a few nights now. Tiger, I can't believe you've been taking care of me like this." Slowly, Tiger relaxed a little. He looked down at the bookmark in his mouth, then back at Lisa, as if asking for permission to continue. "Go ahead," Lisa said softly. "Please don't. Stop because of me. I want to see everything you do." Tiger hesitated for another moment, then carefully placed the bookmark where it belonged. But instead of moving quickly and quietly like he usually did, he worked slower, glancing at Lisa every few seconds to make sure she was still okay with what he was doing. Lisa watched with tears in her eyes as Tiger continued his routine. But this time he wasn't hiding. He organized her jewelry with the same careful precision, but now he would look at her after each item, as if showing her his work. "That's perfect," Lisa whispered, when he finished arranging her rings. "You're so careful with everything." Tiger's whole demeanor changed. Lisa could see that he was proud to finally be able to show her what he did. He moved with more confidence, still gentle and precise, but no longer secretive. When Tiger moved to straighten her clothes on the chair, Lisa sat up in bed to get a better view. "How did you learn to do this?" she asked quietly. "You're more organized than most people I know." Tiger paused in his work and looked at her directly. For a moment, Lisa felt like they were having a real conversation, like Tiger was trying to tell her that he had learned by watching her, by studying what made her happy, by caring about her comfort for all these years. As Tiger continued his nightly tasks, Lisa realized that this wasn't just about cleaning and organizing. This was Tiger's way of showing love. Every careful movement, every gentle touch, every perfectly arranged item was his way of saying, "I care about you," in the only way he knew how. When Tiger finished his routine, instead of immediately settling down to sleep, he walked over to Lisa and rubbed against her hand. She scratched behind his ears and whispered, "Thank you, Tiger. Thank you for taking care of me all these years." Tiger purred louder than she had ever heard him purr before. It was the sound of a secret finally being shared, of love finally being acknowledged. As they both settled down to sleep, Lisa knew that their relationship had changed forever. Tiger's secret was out, but instead of ruining the magic, it had made their bond even stronger. From now on, they would be partners in creating the perfect, peaceful space they both loved so much. Part 5. A new understanding. The next morning felt like the first day of a completely new life for Lisa. She woke up naturally, without an alarm, and the first thing she saw was Tiger sitting at the foot of her bed, watching her with bright, alert eyes. But this time, instead of wondering why he looked so satisfied, she knew exactly what he had accomplished during the night. "Good morning, my secret helper," Lisa said softly, reaching out to pet him. Tiger purred and moved closer to her. And Lisa could swear his purr sounded different today, happier, more relaxed. Like a huge weight had been lifted off his shoulders. As Lisa got ready for work, she noticed that Tiger was following her around more closely than usual. He seemed to be studying her reactions to his organized space, watching to make sure she appreciated everything he had done. When she picked up her perfectly arranged jewelry, she made sure to smile and tell him how wonderful it looked. When she put on her neatly positioned slippers, she thanked him out loud. Tiger's response was incredible. His whole body language had changed. He walked with more confidence, held his head higher, and seemed genuinely proud of his work. For 15 years, he had been working in secret, never knowing if his efforts made a difference. Now he finally understood that Lisa noticed and cared. That evening, Lisa decided to do something special. She'd been thinking about it all day at work, and she wanted to show Tiger that their partnership was now official. Before bedtime, she set up a small ritual. She placed some of Tiger's favorite treats on the nightstand, along with a thank you note that she read out loud to him. "Dear Tiger," she began, feeling a little silly, but also deeply moved. "Thank you for 15 years of taking care of me. I'm sorry it took me so long to notice, but I want you to know that I see you now, and I appreciate everything you do." Tiger sat perfectly still while she read, his green eyes focused on her face like he understood every word. When she finished, she offered him the treats, and he accepted them with what looked like dignity and pride. "From now on," Lisa continued, "we're a team. You don't have to work alone anymore." That night, their bedtime routine became something completely new. Instead of pretending to sleep while Tiger worked, Lisa stayed awake and quietly watched him. She didn't interfere or try to help. She understood that this was Tiger's job, and he was good at it. But she was present, offering soft words of encouragement and appreciation as he worked. "That's perfect," she would whisper when he arranged her books. "You're so gentle with my things," she would say, as he organized her jewelry. Tiger seemed to glow with happiness at the recognition. Lisa also started making small changes to make Tiger's job easier and more enjoyable. She bought a small step stool so he could reach the higher shelves more easily. She rearranged some furniture to give him better pathways around the room. She even got him a special soft mat to stand on when he was working at the dresser, so his paws wouldn't get cold on the wooden surface. The most amazing thing was how their communication improved. Tiger began to show Lisa specific things he was proud of. He would finish organizing something, then sit next to it and look at her, clearly waiting for praise. Lisa learned to recognize when he wanted her attention and always made sure to acknowledge his work. Within a few weeks, Lisa realized that Tiger was doing even more than she had originally discovered. Now that he didn't have to hide, he was showing her the full extent of his capabilities. He would bring her items she had forgotten in other rooms. He learned to turn off lights that she had left on. He even figured out how to close drawers that she had left slightly open. One night, Lisa woke up to find Tiger gently pulling a blanket up to cover her better. She had kicked off her covers in her sleep, and Tiger had noticed she might be cold. The care and attention he showed was beyond anything she had ever imagined possible from a pet. Lisa started telling people about Tiger's incredible abilities. At first, her friends and family were skeptical. "Cats don't really do that," they would say. "You must be imagining it." But Lisa invited a few close friends over to witness Tiger's nighttime routine, and their reactions were priceless. Her friend Jenny sat in amazed silence as Tiger organized the guest bedroom before she went to sleep. "I can't believe what I'm seeing," Jenny whispered. "This is like having a furry personal assistant." Word spread, and soon Lisa was getting calls from animal behaviorists and researchers who wanted to study Tiger, but Lisa was protective of their special relationship. She agreed to a few interviews, but only on the condition that Tiger's routine and comfort came first. Dr. Martinez, a veterinarian who specialized in animal behavior, visited and was astounded by what she observed. "I've been working with animals for 25 years, she told Lisa, "and I've never seen anything quite like this. Tiger's behavior shows an extraordinary level of emotional intelligence and problem-solving ability, but more than that, it shows incredible love and dedication." Lisa started a blog about her life with Tiger, sharing their story with cat lovers around the world. The response was overwhelming. People from everywhere wrote to share their own stories of cats who showed unusual intelligence and care. Lisa realized that Tiger might not be completely unique. Maybe people just hadn't been paying close enough attention to their feline companions. The blog grew into something much bigger than Lisa had expected. She started receiving messages from people who said that reading about Tiger had inspired them to look more carefully at their own pets' behavior. Some discovered that their cats had been doing small, caring tasks they had never noticed before. But the most important change was in Lisa's daily life. She no longer felt like she was living alone. Every morning, she woke up feeling grateful and cared for. Every evening, she looked forward to working together with Tiger to create their perfect space. Tiger seemed happier too. He was more playful during the day, more affectionate, and more confident. Having his work acknowledged and appreciated had transformed him from a secret caretaker into a proud partner. As Lisa reflected on their journey, she realized that the real magic wasn't just in Tiger's incredible abilities. It was in the fact that love had been quietly working in her life for 15 years, and she had finally learned to see it and appreciate it now. Every night as they settled down together, Lisa would whisper the same thing to Tiger. "Thank you for choosing to take care of me," and Tiger would, per his response, which Lisa had learned to translate as, "Thank you for finally noticing." Their story became a reminder that love often works in quiet, invisible ways, and that the most precious gifts in life are sometimes the ones we receive every day without even realizing it.